Hello there. Today we will complete the second chapter of Hornbill, the main course book of class 11. It is a memoir titled We Are Not Afraid to Die If We All Can Be Together, written by Gordon Cook and Ellen East. In the last video we saw how the author planned a round the world trip to mark the 200th anniversary of a similar trip by Captain James Cook. On January 2nd, 1977, they were hit by a massive or a huge wave. What happened then? Did they die? Or did they make it to some shore? Let us find out. By the morning of 3rd January, the water level was much in control to let them rest for 2 hours in rotation. It was clear there was a leak somewhere below the waterline. Now the waterline is the line where the hull of a ship meets the surface of the water. The frame of the boat was broken till the base of the ship. Now in ships, frames are like ribs that are bolted or welded to the keel. These frames support the hull and give the ship its shape and strength. The starboard was holding together only with a few cupboard partitions. They had survived 15 hours after the wave hit. It was clear it won't hold together for long, that is, their reaching Australia was impossible. He checked the charts and found two small islands a few hundred kilometers to the east. One of them was Isle Amsterdam, a French scientific base. If they could reach these pinpricks means very tiny, like the minute point made by a pin in that vast Indian Ocean. Yet, this was their only hope for survival. Of course, they needed the help of Mother Nature. The wind in the right direction, no strong gales or unpleasant weather. Even the auxiliary or the secondary engine of the ship was destroyed. They had spent one more day. It was January 4, 36 hours after the wave hit. Only last few centimeters of water was left. But you see, water was continuously coming in from the cracks. So they had to keep pumping that out to avoid sinking. They could not use the mainmast. It was held together by a few pieces of wood only. Any pressure on this pole and the means the ropes and wires supporting the structure of the ship would mean complete damage or pulling the hull apart. So they used only the storm jib. Mary, his wife, found some corned beef and cracker biscuits, and finally they ate something almost after 2 days. But the rest was short-lived. At 4 p.m. there were black clouds forming up, followed by wind at 40 knots and strong and high waves. The weather continued to deteriorate, to worsen. By January 5, they were again in a hopeless situation. He went to comfort the children. His son Jonathan asked if they were going to die. As a father, he tried to reassure that they would make it. But the son replied, "We are not afraid to die if we all can be together, you, mommy, Sue and I." Now very often this question is asked in the exams. Why is it so important? You also get the question, justify the title. The answer is more or less the same. That it shows the importance of being together, the love in the family, which gives courage to face the most difficult, direst of situations. And then the most important effect of this statement. The result? He left the children's cabin determined to fight back to ensure that his children survived. He decided to lift the weak starboard side using sea anchor, ropes and 22-liter plastic barrels of paraffin. Now paraffin is a flammable wax-like substance. It is used for waterproofing. He used the undamaged side of the wave walker to face the high gales or winds. Still, he knew it was not enough. He sat holding the hands of his wife Mary as they felt the end was near. But as fate would have it, the Waywalker made it to the 6th of January. New day brought new hope. The weather seemed to be easing, becoming calm. He tried to determine his location using a sextant. It is an instrument with graduated arc of 60 degrees for taking altitudes and navigation. All he could make out was they were in 1,50,000 kilometer vast area of ocean looking for a 65-kilometer wide island. Then came Susan, who was clearly in pain. The head had swollen and her eyes looked like slits only. Still, she had made a card. There were caricatures, cartoons of the father and the mother, that is, Gordon, the narrator, and Mary, with words, "Here are some funny people. Did they make you laugh?" I laughed a lot as well. Inside was a message. "Oh, how I love you both." So this card is to say thank you and let's hope for the best. It seems the children knew they were about to die, but they were trying to make the best of what they had. Again, the children gave him new energy to ensure their safety. He knew he can't give up. Can you think of the reasons why children have more hope than adults? Well, one reason is they are inexperienced, so they still do not know impossible. They are free to imagine and hope anything. Second, they do not follow any set norms. They are free from the fear of the unknown. What do you think? Checking and rechecking his calculations, making allowances for the westerly wind and magnetic corrections, finally at 2 p.m. he asked Larry to steer a course of 185 degrees. He told him they would see the island by 5 p.m. Although he himself was not sure of it, but he spoke with confidence. He was so tired that he went in his cabin and climbed his bunk and went off to sleep. When he woke up, it was almost 6 p.m. and getting dark. He knew that it was late. They had missed the island, and it was not possible to move against the wind without the mast. Then came Jonathan with a tousled head, that is, disarranged hair, and asked for permission to hug him, followed by Sue. He was confused and asked the reason. John said, "Because you are the best daddy in the whole world and the best captain." "Not today, John, I am afraid." "Why, you must be," said Sue in a matter-of-fact voice. "You found the island." "What?" I shouted. "It's out there in front of us," they chorused, "as big as a battleship." He rushed and with relief saw the clear outline of the Isle Amsterdam. It was only a bleak, without any vegetation, dark piece of volcanic rock, but it was the most beautiful island in the world. Why? Because it ensured their survival after such a long struggle, in spite of losing all hope so many times. They anchored, that is, attached the ship to the surface under the water to keep it in place, offshore, and waited for the morning. All the 28 inhabitants of the island came to cheer them and help reach the shore. With land under his feet again, he could only think of Larry and Herbie, cheerful and optimistic under the direst stress, and of Mary, who stayed at the wheel for all those crucial hours. Most of all, he thought of a 7-year-old girl who did not want them to worry about a head injury, which subsequently took 6 minor operations to remove a recurring blood clot between skin and skull, and of a 6-year-old boy who was not afraid to die. Some questions have been discussed along with the explanation. It is important to remember the daily progress and the change in weather and mental condition as well. Then, you should know the role of children in igniting, that is, lighting new energy every time he lost hope. Many times, open-ended questions are asked from this chapter, so you must prepare your own reasons as to why people undertake such hazardous expeditions. You may include that it gives opportunity to explore, test one's limits, it is thrilling, exciting, it shows the power of nature, humbles us down, gives satisfaction, etc. etc. Another question: what have you learned from the story, or how optimism helps to fight the direst stress. When you are optimistic about the future, you do not stop putting in the effort. That one more try works wonders. The author lost hope on so many occasions, but then decided to put in the effort again till the effort was rewarded. He could not give up as long as he was alive. Then, of course, you have to give an example or two from the story to prove your point. You can say how he worked hard or how children gave new hope every time he was about to give up. The learning is that we must be ready to put in the effort to achieve our dreams and also to fight adverse situations. The story teaches us not to give up under any circumstances, for even God helps those who help themselves. I hope you all have learned the lesson from this survival story. Thank you and keep enjoying literature.